voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. You remember this guy, everybody, right? He's a friend. He is Sean Baligian in for D-Mac. Shawnee B.
This is great. No, I'm so glad to be here. We've known each other many years. Like I was thinking in my brain, probably 18, 19 years. It's crazy. We've chatted so much in different places, but you and I have never done a show together.
Never done a show together.
Isn't that
Very
funny?
first time.
Right. So, no, it's great to be out here. Great to see some familiar faces out here. Tammy. There's
Tammy
a legend.
Chan is out here in the house.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Legends on Legends on Legends. JB Smoove is in the house. We have Parker as well, and we are live at Fairway Packing Company. And Sean, look, it's apropos because here on Big D Energy, it's a big package Friday. There's a meat package as well. I know you're the master at this. I'm going to pick your brain as we go, but the smell is in the air. The Fairway Packing Company people, they got it going right now, Sean. How are we supposed to survive through this?
I think that's the only reason Tim McCullum called me, to be honest with you, is we're at a barbecue place. We have to get you, Neal, I got to get you out to one of the big barbecues we've had. Tim's been out there. I love it. That smell wafting over. And there's so many different things you can do. I've been on the smoke kick for a couple of years, but I'll tell you what, just recently, look at those beautiful charcoal grills out there. I'm telling you, there is nothing.
Wait, look at that. You guys can't. Look at what she's putting on that grill right now.
I hope she's not offended. That's like porn. Watching somebody put a steak on a grill, that's like, honestly, that's like porn to me. But no, Neal, that's the beautiful thing about it. You could smoke. I love it. No doubt about it. That's been my jam for a couple of years now. But that old school charcoal grill, you can't put a price tag on it.
No, you absolutely can. And again, it's fitting that we're here at the Fairway Packing Company. We are in Grosse Pointe Shores as well. And look, they're doing the thing right now. They have a store in here that is, Sean, it's literally Toys R Us back when you were a kid, but as a guy that is big in the barbecue game. Look, a grill is going to come into play for you this weekend on Father's Day weekend. That's just the way it's going to be. This is the spot. 10% off all weekend as well. Sean, they have the Wagyus in there, the Tomahawks in there. It's a toy store for us.
Meat butter. If you haven't had a Wagyu, I mean, honestly, it is meat butter. It melts in your mouth. You might remember on this very network, we did a show. It was phenomenal for me. It was incredible. I'm going to tell you what, one of the most underrated things here, I think we all know about the meats, but some of the accoutrements are phenomenal. And they've got a rub here that I'm telling you, killer rub. You need to try it, and these guys can take care of all your needs. Isn't it funny you mentioned Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
We go through this routine every single year in my family. And what that routine is in my family is my wife says, so what do you want to do Father's Day? And it kind of give her the look like, are we doing this again?
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to do on Father's Day? I want to stay at home. I want to grill for them. And she always, we go through this whole little day, and she's like, well, wait a second. Aren't we supposed to do something for you? Do you understand that is doing something for me? Let me grill. Let me take care of everything.
Let Sean cook, literally.
That's what I want to do. So, no, listen, I think all guys know that. It's a beautiful thing, and these guys at Fairway Packing Company can hook you up.
No question about that. And look, I am also big in the grill game. I have not ventured into the smoking game. I'm glad you're here. I will ask you about that. You guys all know it's a big package Friday. 5 questions about a lot of stuff. We spin the globe, the sports globe, as it were. We have a meat package that's coming up today. We will talk to some folks as well from Fairway Packing. I'll have some questions for them as well. The Wagyu steak thing, all of it. This isn't work today. Just so you know, this isn't work today.
Heck no.
This is not work at all. But we are happy to be out here. Make sure you come through here. As we said, it's literally grab and go. but it's like Wagyu steaks. It's wild in there. It's wild.
Listen, if you see my attention being diverted and I'm just looking to the right, it's because those charcoal grills are firing out all cylinders right now. They're putting meats on there. There's nothing like it. Neal, I'm all fired up. This is a great spot. For all your needs, it doesn't matter what side of town you're on. These guys can hook you up. It's worth the drive.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Make sure you jump in there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast if you would be so kind. Drop that 5-star review on there. But, you guys programs the show from time to time. Jake Wegener in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Sean is so bricked right now.
This is awesome. And I have so many questions to ask these guys because it's as much as I would like to think I know, there's so much more I need to learn. There's dry age, there's wet age, there's the different, Wagyu as you mentioned. It's meat butter. It is literally meat butter. If you haven't tried it, honestly, go to your couch and pull all those coins out, save up, and get yourself a nice piece of Wagyu. It is life-changing. I'm not joking when I say that.
No, absolutely. But again, we do have the sports stuff to get into as well, and we will get into all of that. 5 questions about everything in and around the sports world. You're here. We have some college football that we will jump into as well. I have some things that we've discussed in the past, scheduling things like that we're going to get into with you, Sean, and we're going to involve the people as well. Detroit Dabber 313, what up, doe? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody out there. And, Sean, it is that, right? Like, we're out here right now at the Fairway Packing Company in Grosse Pointe Shores, 10% off for Father's Day. You described it because I get that question, too. Like, what do you want to do for Father's Day?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. You know what? Can I chill out? I want to watch a Tiger game. I want to walk out on my back deck. I will grill what you want. Well, it's supposed to be about you. Do you understand? That's what I want. So, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything.
No.
I don't need to go anywhere. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind going to the golf course and stuff like that. I'm a little bit different than you in that respect, but whatever. Nothing is a good Father's Day for me. The U.S. Open's on the West Coast. I'll dial that in towards the evening, which isn't by mistake, by the way. They do that on purpose. It's
wonderful.
Brilliant.
It was great watching it yesterday. I mean, firm and fast are the words that we heard yesterday, and we saw that play out.
Right.
Beforehand, everybody was talking about it. Those scores, a couple of 62s, you mix in some 65s. I'm sorry. I want to watch pro golfers be exceptional. I know some people are like, well, this is a joke. No, I want to watch the best in the world be exceptional. And that's what we saw yesterday.
No question about it. And I'm with you to a point. I do enjoy that as well. Like the Rocket Mortgage, when they come in, they're 20 under. Love it. They go 20 under pretty much everywhere. One exception with that, Sean. The U.S. Open, I do like to see the struggle. I do like to see the ball go in the rough. They can't get it out. They're getting double bogeys and say, see, you're just like me, even though obviously they're not. But there is an angle of that I do like, Sean.
Well, there's the British Open for that. I mean, doesn't it always seem like the British Open, or the Open, as it were?
Yeah, the Open.
The Open. We always see that. It always seems like weather is a case, especially when they're up in Scotland. And so I think we get to see that. I don't know. Neal, I thought it was fantastic that we saw a couple of 62s yesterday. I think it's great. Watching those guys do things. Maybe now this is Ricky Fowler's time. We've heard all about the promise.
I always hear
the
about
last
it. I never
few
see
years.
it.
Well, there's a lot of that going around, isn't there? Hi, Detroit sports. But no, all jokes aside, this is. I thought it was great to watch yesterday.
Some questions, and this is a prevalent question in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Ryan's reaction says, "Did I just hear Habs man? Is he out here?"
I don't think he made it out. You never know, though, especially when he smells some of the meats and everything. Bonjour! He might show up, so you can't count it out.
No question about it. But we're chopping it up right now. It is Father's Day weekend. We have generations of Big D Energy / Baligian and Bell as well. So we have the cross generations right now. Very, very fired up to do a show with Sean here today and get this going on. The Tigers did win yesterday, and this. We have a starting rotation package coming up, but I'm going to tease this one right now, Sean. You're not doing this, right? Because I hear people doing this.
All right.
A baseball team that I believe has lost, 10 of their last 11 games, but they win last night. Did you check the standings this morning? Be honest with me.
I did. Well, do you know why? Here, can I explain to you why? And I know we're going to get into this in greater detail. This division is historically bad. The Minnesota Twins have been leading this division like basically all season now, and you saw them last night, and you're left to say, how is this happening? You know, Sonny Gray had a tremendous start to the season. He did look the part last night. So that's all you need. Do I think the Tigers are going to eventually end up winning the division? Heavens no, I don't. But there's just enough there to tease you to say, well, you know, maybe even a 500 record could win this crap division. And I think that's what keeps people hanging on.
I know, and I have to come clean on it because I said, look, we're going to go into this. All right, I'm going in. I'm going to be emotionally detached from it, not emotionally attached from it, right? But I can't do that. So I made the decision after that recent losing streak to withdraw myself again. I've withdrawn myself.
I understand.
And because I can't do it unemotionally. You see what I'm saying? Is that fair, I guess?
I think it's fair. I'm coming from a different place, and I think you knew this, and please don't take this as an I told you so, but gosh damn it, I did tell you so. I was done with Al Avila years ago. And one of the most mystifying things to me, and if you don't believe me, search my Twitter account, or people that watched our show a few years ago can attest to this. I'm angry that there are a lot of people out there right now that like literally I was the dumbest guy in the world, and you get this with your basketball background. I can't tell you the amount of times somebody told me, hey, why don't you stick to hockey, okay? Like, it was as plain as the nose on your face.
Right.
So to hear a lot of those same people in the past year say all the things that I was saying 4 years ago, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a little bit of anger there. It's like, why didn't you wake up and see this 3-4 years ago? Because it was as plain as the nose on your face. Unlike you, I can detach myself emotionally. I can. And I had to all those years doing the Lions pre- and post-game shows.
That is true.
Especially
you're more weather-beaten than I am.
Especially during the Millen era, right? I remember I came home one time, I forget what year, but I came home, true story, and both my kids were kind of like looking at me like, oh, Dad's home. And I was like, oh, what have I become? I've become that father that they just know that Dad comes home from doing the radio and television, whatever the case may be, and he's in a pissed-off mood. And I was like, never again. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking it home with me. So I've been able to find that middle ground where after the game, of course, you react, you're ticked off, but you know what? There comes that time in the day where you're just Dad, and you're able to forget about it. But that's where I'm at with the Tigers right now, even through this long streak. What is it, 10 of 12 now,
10 of
whatever
12,
the case
yeah.
it may be. I just don't get angry anymore because now I half expect it. When you have a guy running this franchise as long as he did, and people in this town not just giving him a free pass, telling everybody what a great job he was doing.
Oh, I know. It was wild.
That was real. That was absolutely real.
Sean, he's still doing it. I don't know if you caught the act on the podcast where I like the return I got for Justin. He's still doing it.
I would always say this, and we had segments on this very show. I would always say, tell me what Al Avila has done.
Give me the wins.
What is he? And do you know what people always came up with? That which we can't see. Well, they have all these wonderful, cute little prospects, pinch their whittled cheeks and everything. And I'd say, okay, dig a little deeper because as you well know in this business, people don't like to do research.
Yeah.
I said, go look what they're doing down in Erie. Go look. It's not like these guys are lighting it up.
Right.
So it was frustrating, but I'm over it. There's still a little bitter and resentment towards some people, and they know who they are. That you're dumb, you're an idiot, all that stuff. we're going to have to deal with this for a few years more. But I have faith in Scott Harris. I really do. I have faith in Scott Harris.
I do too. And look, guys, we are going to get into it all. We're going around the world. Barbecued meats as well. It's going to be prevalent. You can smell it in the air. We are live here at the Fairway Packing Company in Grosse Pointe Shores. 10% off all the way through Father's Day. Come down here. Get your dad a Wagyu tomahawk. It's in there. It's right behind this wall. And it's 10% off. That's what your dad wants.
And it's worth the money. He's your father, for gosh sakes.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Hey, let me tell you about Swiss Insurance. Now that summer's here, it's important to make sure that you are properly covered, whether it's a grad party or just a group of people coming over to enjoy the lake, maybe the pool, whatever. Your liability exposure increases significantly in summertime. Guys, this is the world we live in now. Like, let's be real about it. Let Swiss Insurance and their group review your coverage and make sure that you're protected from unexpected loss. Check out at SwissINS.com. Check them out at SwissINS.com or call Mark today, 248-800-4177, 248-800-4177. It's Swiss Insurance.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. Network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your number one resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Oh, that's right. That is right. Big D Energy is back. We're live at Fairway Packing Company. We're in Grosse Pointe Shores. 10% off all Father's Day. We're joined here by Gino here with the Fairway Packing Company. Gino, the store is awesome.
Thank you.
This is your time to shine, right? Father's Day weekend. This store is here for this, right?
This is it. I mean, if the sun's out and the girls are out, we're the place to be. So,
are you kidding me?
Wait a minute.
Look at this.
Look at that. I'm sorry, I got to say it again. It's porn. Look at that. That is just absolute meat porn. It's beautiful.
Talk about Father's Day. I mean,
That's Father's Day.
This is Father's Day. Porterhouse, something for everybody.
Yeah,
here.
I don't know who's grilling too, but it is. Look at that. That is perfect. Look at that. I mean, that's what you want. You want that red in there. You want that red in that beautiful
That's exactly how a
porterhouse.
burger should be cooked.
1,000%, right?
Yeah,
You better
absolutely.
stop with that well done stuff.
Hey,
You bring up well done to me, I'm leaving.
Gino, I won't bring you into this, but I face some challenges at home with some of the preferences of family members. I'll get into that later with Sean. But Gino, I'm glad that you're here. First off, appreciate you having us. This is awesome. You guys are first class. I want to start though with Fairway Packing Company, and when I was kind of taking a tour of the facility, I've seen the trucks everywhere since I was a little kid. Yeah. I mean, some people might not know this, but like in the meat game, Fairway Packing Company is a Detroit institution. Y'all have been around forever.
Yeah, since 1965 we've been around. What we've done has not been on accident. A lot of hard work, a lot of relationships, a lot of sourcing of the finest products that you can get your hands on, and that's what we do. Day in and day out, we're in the trenches there. A lot of family down there. We have, our families in all different parts of the business and inside, outside, wherever we have to be. And that's what's made Fairway successful, for now 3 generations.
Gino, you bring up something that I think anybody who considers themselves a barbecue connoisseur in any way, shape, or form, when you're talking about the finest products, I don't care what side of town you live on. I don't care. You're out near me in Northville, you're downriver, you're in the northeast suburbs, whatever the case may be. You want the finest products. You want that beautiful piece of meat. You want that rub that you can't put a price tag on. I was telling you, I love your Detroit style rub. It's perfect for prime rib, and I think that's become a staple of what you guys do is getting those finest products.
Right. So that's one thing about us. You might walk in there and say, "Oh, this is expensive." It's not expensive for what it is. We're starting with the finest farms. We're aging it, correctly, wet age, dry age, however it's supposed to be. There's an art to this business. It's just not, slaughtering a cow, cutting it up, and putting it on a grill. There's way more that goes into that in between that we become professionals at, and that's what we do.
Absolutely. Big D Energy here, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Sean, Baligian here with Gino from Fairway Packing Company. Now, the store set up in here, guys, and again, we're on Grosse Pointe Shores. They're doing 10% off all Father's Day weekend, so they got you covered. And there is the high end. And for those, I talk a lot about bourbon on this show. Yeah. Like we talk about top shelf meat in here, everybody. They have the Wagyus, the Tomahawks, all that stuff your dad really wants, like we've been talking about. You can come through here. What about that, too? Because you guys have the designer stuff in here. Yeah. Aged, dry aged, any way you want it. You come in here, and it is grab and go. Like, talk about that, because, like, while you guys are an institution, this store here is with the times. Everything's out in front of you. You pick what you want. You pay for it. You put it on the grill within 20 minutes.
Yeah, so here what you're going to get is you're going out to some of the finest restaurants throughout the whole state of Michigan and beyond. And this is where those chefs shop at Fairway. So now, as a consumer, you now have the option to come here and get that same exact steak and take it home and cook it. The Wagyu, the dry aged. You mentioned the bourbon. The bourbon's incredible. We're taking prime beef, Wagyu beef. We're wrapping it in bourbon, spraying it every few days.
Oh my God!
Just infusing it. You're just infusing this beef and just letting it dry out for 28 to 35 days. It completely takes on the bourbon flavor, and when you put that on your grill, it's like you're having a bourbon and steak right there.
I want to echo something that he said, Neal, because I'm somebody that discovered Wagyu a couple years ago. It is life-changing. I'm not, it's not an exaggeration. It really, I use the term meat butter because, look, you can get a piece of meat anywhere. You can, okay? And sometimes you can get a good piece of meat. But when you have that, it is life-changing. There is a melt in your mouth. Yeah. I can't even appropriately explain it. I'm going to let you do it as the expert. But it's so life-changing.
What's also so great about our Wagyu program here, too, is it's approachable. You don't have to come in and buy the $100 steak. We have steaks in the Wagyu family that start around $20. You know, you can get our burger, our Wagyu burger. Our burgers are incredible. Our burgers are ground up, steak trim. And sometimes actual whole muscles are going into these burgers to make these blends. So we're real popular for our burgers, not only in the restaurant scene, but also here in the store. But as far as the Wagyu, yes, it just hits different. Prime beef is great. Nothing against it. But when you get into that Wagyu, it's a whole nother level. So this is a great place to come. Listen, you come in here, you're just not going to walk in and not know what you're doing. Someone's going to talk to you.
Right.
They're going to tell you, ask you how you're going to cook it, how many people, what are you looking to accomplish, and we're going to put you in the right direction and make sure that you have a great experience. Don't be afraid to cook it at home. There's so many different ways. We got Chef Christina here who does our steaks, every weekend. The sous vide's great. There's a reverse sear. So on this one she slow cooked this one here and then seared it at the end. Chef Christina, you want to come up here and slice this up? Show them. Bring up a cutting board.
Oh man,
we have to try some, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only right.
We would be irresponsible journalists if we didn't, especially spread that. Oh my!
You spread this right
Guys.
around here.
Hey Neal,
Yes.
I have a bunch of meatheads out there that
just
follow
go ahead right
me
there.
for the specific reason we all, tweet each other pictures of our smoke show, whatever the case may be. Listen, I'm telling you, to the guys that follow me on Twitter for this stuff, if you haven't been out here to Fairway, I am 1,000% endorsing this place, giving it the thumbs up. Get out here. They've got the best products, the best people. Their rub is to die for. Many of you have probably been to my house, had some of the things that I've served. If you like the prime rib that I did, it was covered with their Detroit rub. It's phenomenal. Great spot out here. Come out here. Totally endorse it. And I'm going to eat the rest of this burger, Neal.
Look at this thing.
Isn't that beautiful?
This is a prime porterhouse, 32 ounces. It's been wet aged for 28 days minimum. This is not a particularly dry aged one, but we have a lot of dry age options inside here. I highly recommend for Father's Day the tomahawk, one of my favorites.
Amen.
But my ultimate favorite steak here that you're going to find is our dry aged Wagyu bone-in strip. Incredible. You could take a vegetarian and make them a meat lover after having that steak.
There is something about, before you came on with us, Gino, dry age, wet age, a lot of people get them confused. Maybe you can talk to that. But to your point about the dry age, I don't know what it is, but like the layers of bite with that dry age is something to behold.
Yeah, so you're taking a piece of beef that's already been wet aged for 21 days. Then we're putting it into our dry aging room. And what you're doing is you're kind of like dehydrating that piece of beef at a controlled rate, taking out the moisture. So all that fat is, condensing to change the profile and to make it even more flavorful is ultimately what dry aging is.
And it works.
Sean,
now,
I'm
Neal,
sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You got to talk now, Neal.
There's no words. Gino, we'll ride off on this.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having us out.
Thank you,
It's great
guys.
and everything. It's great to talk to you.
I mean, we could talk all day. We got a barbecue going, and we're talking beef here.
No, but
and on a sports channel, so we love it.
Thanks again for having us out,
Thank
brother.
you.
We do appreciate it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thanks, Gino.
Gino, everybody,
Appreciate it, guys.
Fairway Packing Company.
Thank
We've talked about it. We're going to get into the big packages. We have a meat package that we'll get into a little bit later on as well. But, hey, we have to go to a break right now. You see why. We will do it. Hey, let me tell you about Planet Fitness, and lucky for me, I got the workout in already, so I can sit down here and crush steak. That's fine, because the work's been done at Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com right now. Black card option, $24.99 a month. You basically own Planet Fitness. You have access to over 2,400 of them around the world, unlimited guest privileges. No matter where you are, you can go in and get your work in. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area alone. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot on your way home from Fairway Packing Company, and you can join there. Planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper.
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper.
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sean Baligian in for DMAC. We are live in Grosse Pointe Shores at Fairway Packing Company Father's Day weekend, 10% off. They have all the greatest meats that we've been talking about all show long. Yes, it is a big package Friday. And, Sean, we are going to get into those packages, but Porterhouse here, life-changing.
Can I yell to Christina for just a moment? Christina, what is the accoutrement that you put on top of that beautiful, lovely piece of meat? Yeah, what was that mixture? Talk to me.
It's roasted garlic. I put a little steak salt in it, minced salad, and parsley.
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
And you are a master chef. Like, for you to cook that and get that beautiful pink in there for both the burgers and tip of the cap. Seriously. Great job.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All right, Sean, as we talked about, it is a big package Friday, so we will get into the sports packages. We take all these big packages, we lay them out for the people.
Let's do it.
And let's do it. Let's get into it. Lions nickel package to kick things off. First down. Obviously, it's early, Sean. Will Kirby Joseph be an all-time Detroit Lions defensive player?
I'm so glad to hear you say it's early, because I think in Detroit we have been so wrapped up in a winner, in needing a winner, that we often put the cart in front of the horse. Now, I don't want one person out there to misconstrue, okay? Not one. I believe that the Lions are going to win the North Division this year. I said on these very airwaves 2 years ago, I thought the Lions were going to be in the position that they eventually were. However, in this regard, let's pull back on the reins a little bit. Not yet. How's that?
No, that's not this business. That doesn't fit this business. You're either
sorry.
all in or you're all out.
I'm too rational. I'm sorry.
The man is Aaron Rodgers' father for that alone. He's already an all-time great.
Not yet.
Sean, he picked off Aaron Rodgers' last pass as a Packer. That makes you...
I believe you have a picture of that somewhere,
I do. Shout out Tammy Chin.
Thank you, Tammy.
And this Pro Sports Zone. Just for that alone, he's already an all-time Lion.
Listen, not yet. I hate to do it. I'm still stuck. Here we go. I'm still stuck on the people. Do you remember the spontaneous celebrations that were happening all around town just by the Pistons merely getting the number one pick? I'm sorry. I'm not one of those people that gets it. Great. I'm glad they got a great player. Here we are 2 years later, still talking about a team that has to put the pieces together to have a real celebration. And that's where I'm at with the Lions right now. I think playoff team. Lord in heaven help me, I think they're going to host a playoff game here at Ford Field finally. But cart in front of the horse in regards to so many different particular pieces with this team.
Aaron Rodgers' last pass, he intercepted it. That's what I'm going off on. Lots to talk to in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread about me drooling during the steak segment. People want to know why I stick out my tongue when I eat. I don't know. I can't speak to that. You're all haters. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
If you were sitting here with this, you would be the same way.
Yeah, this is what hell is to me. Okay, there's a bunch of food in front of me that I can't eat. This is almost like hell. But so I'm just gonna eat it. So
all right.
Go right ahead.
Second down, bigger step forward. Penei Sewell or Aiden Hutchinson?
Penei, and I'll tell you why. How much higher can Hutch go? Seriously, I mean, there's still a ceiling there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's gonna top out. I think Penei has the potential to have the kind of impact that Hutch did last year. So based on that criteria, I'm going to say Penei.
Yeah, well, you don't know this, but I am a Penei Sewell. I am of the opinion Penei Sewell changed everything. When he got here on the scene, when he got up in the face of Nick Bosa and Aaron Donald and said, I don't care about, I respect who you guys are, but I don't care that you're here in front of me right now. I think that had as much to do with anything else as far as changing this culture. So I'm recusing myself from answering questions that involve Penei Sewell because my answer is always Penei Sewell.
Okay, fair enough.
Always. Third down. Who's the number 2 receiver until J-Mo gets back?
Boy, that's a great question. This is the one when we were doing show prep, because believe it or not, there is some show prep involved. I really struggled this one. I'm going to go personal reasons, and people are probably going to laugh at me, but I got a soft spot in my heart for this guy. How about Marvin? I'm going to say I really like Marvin Jones. I know he's 33 years old, but I think people forget how good he is. He isn't showing signs of slowing down. I think that was a bigger, better signing than maybe people are giving it credit for. And I know everybody's laughing at me because they probably disagree with me, but that's my personal thing. I like Marvin a lot.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, lots of run for Penei Sewell as wide receiver, too. I mean, he's shown those chops. There is no question about it. Sean, I think it's going to be situational. It's going to be game to game. It's a lot like when you have, is there a defined number 2? I don't know. I think it will be one of those situations with Ben Johnson. He will take what's given. And whatever matchup is favorable on that day, that is the matchup that the Lions will go to. That is one thing about this team, Sean. I don't think that there's defined roles.
I agree with you. And that's why I know you're coming up to the next question. You and I are in the same regard, because I'm going to actually ask to define, and I'll give you an answer that I think ties into not only the question we just had, but the next question as well.
Okay, great segue. Fourth down, everybody. Can Sam Laporta outperform TJ Hawkinson's rookie year?
Here's where I'll say define. What does that mean? Are you talking about numbers, or are you talking about fitting in as part of a puzzle? And that's what I look at with this offense. I've been apt to use this term. The Lions have kind of stumbled upon a Burger King offense. And you know what I mean by that? Not Whopper, 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 Whopper.
Have it your way.
Have it your way. Okay, what are you going to give us today? Today, we're gonna have Marvin light you up. Not today. Laporta's going to open up the middle of the field, and that's going to open up some things.
And then when you adjust, we'll adjust.
Exactly, and so that's a good thing. I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't care to have those numbers in front of each guy. I really don't. He's 1, he's 2, he's 3. These guys are in that 4-5 group. You know what? How do you fit into that particular system in that particular day with that particular scheme? And that's why I think, to answer your question, he's going to be infinitely more successful because there's more around him.
No question about it. I wish Sam Flannel were here, because then I would say TK85, Tom Kennedy. Real quick side note, for the show, because this is a bit, we have a bet with Sam Flannel, D-Mac and I. Sam Flannel will owe us coffee. He thinks Tom Kennedy will have no receptions this year. Will Tom Kennedy catch a pass? This is a bonus.
Yes.
one. 100% yes. Sam Flannel's an idiot.
Yes.
What do you want us to say here? Real quickly here, 5th down. Hey, you said I'm not so much into numbers. Who will be cornerback 2 at the end of the season? Who will be that second? Again, I'll jump in front of you on this one, Sean. I think that will be situational as well. I know
agree.
that's a soft answer, but I think that's going to be the reality.
You know what? I'd put Mosley/Sutton. How's that? That was kind of like you could see it on my sheet for that exact same reason. I'm just not wrapped up in that. And I know a lot of people are. Thankfully, I don't think Brad Holmes is one of them. Frankly, I don't think Dan Campbell is one of them. How is this going to play out? Are we going to use this guy? Are we going to use that guy? What are we going to do in that scheme? And I think that's why the Lions are trending in the right direction, because they're not wrapped up in that type of stuff.
No question about it. And I think that's probably the strength. That's probably why this football team is going to be a good football team this year. Because, look, they had to do a talent overhaul. Brad Holmes had to do a talent overhaul. When you have talent on your roster, you can do these types of things, because that's the ebb and flow of a football game. People were giving you a lot of ish about the Michigan State hat. There's a lot of Michigan fans out there.
Go green.
We saw that during the Michigan State game last year, where Keon Coleman was integrated as a weapon. Michigan couldn't deal with them for about a quarter of the game. They made some adjustments. They turned that off. Now Michigan State had no other card to play, and that was it. So you'll see that to a degree with the Lions.
By the way, and I know you and I have talked about this throughout the years, I know people are going to think this is swarmy, but I'm going to say it anyway, and people are going to accuse me of being a weasel because I have done things like this in the past. I'm actually glad that Michigan is relevant again. I'm serious. And I know you're going to think that I'm joking and I'm taking a shot. There was nothing worse than your fan base for a good dozen years. Nothing. You were the most obnoxious, do nothing, win nothing fan base in the history of mankind. You deserve to talk now. You deserve to chirp now. Props to you.
Until December.
I know none of you will own that you were the absolute worst fan base in all of America. I know none of you will own that, and that's okay. But I'm happy that they are legitimate now, and you deserve to chirp at everybody. You really do.
Let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions, real experts. Yes, the professional technicians will take the time to recommend security and automotion solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call them anytime, day or night. You know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as is needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and your security deserve technology that's been proven to work with people. This is the big part, with people that have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. It's Guardian Alarm.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sean Baligian, my friend. He is my friend, and he is here today in for DMAC. We got JB Smoove, we got Parker, everybody out here on site. We're live at Fairway Packing Company, Grosse Pointe Shores. 10% off all Father's Day week to get your dad the Wagyu steak. You want to know what he wants? That's what he wants. And he wants to cook it himself, too, out there on the grill.
Get him an A5. He will thank you like you've never been thanked before in your life.
No question about that. It is a big package Friday as well. We have Sean Baligian here, as we said. We got a meat package coming up a little bit. We're going to go off the board, but we're going around the sports world. We did the Lions nickel package. It's time for the NFL nickel package. This is a second-year player edition. Sean, you did the shows and everything like that. Everybody went back and forth. Draft this person, know that person, et cetera, et cetera. Well, let's check in and take a look. First down, who will have more sacks in 2023? I can't wait to hear your answer on this one. Kayvon Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker.
That's a great question. I'm gonna go Thibodeau. I was a big Thibodeau fan. I still am a big Thibodeau fan. I think there's a certain freakish quality to him, and I don't think that you can put a price tag on that. Lord knows I've been wrong about guys before. I think that guy's going to be a stud before all is said and done, so I'll go Thibodeau.
Yeah, and I would agree with you, too, because it's a usage thing.
Yep.
That's always my answer, right? Like, who's going to get the usage in terms of the scheme, everything around it, what he's expected to do, the opportunities he'll have to rush the passer? Trayvon Walker, like his impact is not based solely on sacks, to whereas Thibodeau's not either, but it's a bigger part of the piece of the puzzle for him.
Well, it reminds you, if you remember, all the back and forth that people were having about Ndamukong Suh just merely looking at numbers. And it was like, you can't be that dumb. The impact that he brought to the team was so much greater than just what his sack numbers were. It was insane. So I think I think he's going to be a good player when all is said and done.
No, I do agree with you on that. I think that was a no-lose proposition. Second down, here's a good one. How much pressure's on Derek Stingley Jr. to perform in 2023?
I think there's a decent amount, but one thing that has alarmed me recently, Neal, and I don't know if you feel the same way, the people that want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is a guy that's still only 22 years old.
Sure.
Right? And
has Sauce ruined this for everybody?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, 100%.
Like, let's just cut the ish.
Yeah.
Sauce has ruined this for everybody.
Yes. I'm not ready to give up on a guy like that. So pressure, yes, but career-ending pressure, no.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mark Walston says both those players, Walker and Thibodeau, will be behind Hutchinson. So there's a lot of that out there as well.
I won't argue that.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that either. Third down, second-year NFL player edition. This is a Sam Flannel original, everybody. Third down, more receiving yards next season. Drake London, Jahan Dotson.
I don't think either one of them are in a great position per se. I really don't. How about London? Because I think with Desmond, Desmond has had those reps, and Desmond has gone out there and familiarized himself with that offense and that team, and took one for the team last year. Whereas Sam Howell's he's kind of like the babe in the woods to me still.
Right.
So I think just based on that, London, but I'm not real emphatic about it.
My default is always usage, Sean Baligian, and then I think there will be more usage with Drake London. And what? Yeah, Sam Howell, man. Good luck.
Best of luck to you, Sammy.
Sam Howell, starting quarterback for a $6 billion franchise.
Good luck to you. Listen, I watched that guy in college, and I remember talking about this when we were doing the draft shows. He's a guy. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's just a guy. I'm not saying he's bad, but to me, watching Sam Howell, there was never anything that made me go, whoa. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's part of my reasoning there.
Here's a good one. Fourth down, more rushing yards in 2023. Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall?
Well, I know because of the hat I'm wearing, I'm supposed to say Kenneth Walker. I'm going to go with Breece.
Okay.
I think Breece, going back to something that I used to do many, many years, I think Breece could be a fantasy stud this year. I know Walker helped people out last year. Seattle has other options that they can utilize, plus a quarterback that's going to take off and do some things. So I like K9. I thought that he had a tremendous season. Quite frankly, didn't get maybe the credit that he deserved having that type of season. I think Breece could have a monster season, and I'm going to go all Neal Ruhl on you. Usage.
Here's the thing for me, and I know it's early with Breece Hall to get this, but I always hear about it. But and I heard about it all the time, Sean.
Fair.
Fantasy people were big on this. I mean, just this Breece Hall contingent that was in the streets before fantasy football drafts. And I heard about it. And I never saw it. And I continue to hear about it still. You know what I've done? You know, with K9, I saw it.
That's a good point.
I saw it out there. I've seen it happen with K9 before. Now, I'm compromised because I'm one of those people you speak of that profited from Kenneth Walker. And we'll leave it at that. And look, I'm not some savant. Like, it was one of those things where I roll the dice. You know, you do the thing and you pick them up as the usage starts or whatever. You know, I rolled the dice on it and it hit, and that's how you win a lot of these fantasy leagues. 100%. So I'm compromised when I say that. But you know, with Hall, man, like, I gotta see it at some point, man. And I know it's early. I know it is. I know, like, I'm being aggressive second year in the league, but I gotta see it, Sean.
I get it.
I just
Absolutely.
do. All right, let me see here. More likely scenario for Tariq Woolen. This guy came on the scene out of nowhere. Speaking of out of nowhere, does he take a step back, or is he first-team All-Pro cornerback?
I don't think people realize the type of season that he had. I mean, he was co-interception leader. He had fumble recoveries. He had, you know, in the teens and deflections. I actually wrote it down. He had 16. Why not? I mean, to have that type of season. Look, everything kind of came together last year for Seattle. They were supposed to be a terrible team. Who saw Geno Smith doing what Geno Smith did? I think it started there. I think defensively they were a lot better than people thought. But upward trajectory, how about that? I'll say, yeah, he takes another step.
Pete Carroll, man. Pete Carroll.
Such a good, honest guy.
I don't care about all that. His teams win. Wherever he is, his teams win, man. And it was supposed to be over for them.
Absolutely.
It was supposed to be over. And it what? They were in the playoffs, Sean. Like, he's a witch. You say what you want about him personally. I mean, I think he's an upstanding man. And he didn't know what was going on at USC, just like nobody else knew.
He just jumped in the ocean and swam up the coast to get away from
Reggie
it all.
Bush, you know, he doesn't know how Reggie Bush's parents are getting that house. Allegedly. Not allegedly.
No, not allegedly. Not at all.
No, it did.
He had no idea about it.
No, it did. It did happen. It did happen that way. But, you know, again, Seattle's going to be a factor, man. Even with Geno Smith, they are. And they added to that position, too, with Christian Gonzalez.
I'm going to be really intrigued to see what that division holds. I really am. I think there's going to be a lot of fun out there.
Yes. William Turnbull, WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, did I miss the smoked meats conversation? I was late to the show today. You did not. That's coming up in the second hour. I have an issue at home I'm going to seek Sean's counsel on, among other meat-related issues. Since we're live at Fairway Packing Company in Grosse Pointe Shores, 10% off all Father's Day. The Big Package Friday continues. When we come back, I have a college foot. This is my favorite one I get to talk about with my friend Sean Baligian. College football. We could do the last hour of the show on college football.
Please.
Sean, what if I did
college football and hockey? How's that?
Yeah, we could do it. The Mountain West Conference is the official conference of this show. Now, there's a backstory to it.
Did you ever do some games out there? I did some games out there.
We played at Boise State a couple times in basketball, so we've been out there. I am a big Mountain West guy because I get the people right on Saturday night. Like, you go through your afternoon, you go 1-5, you're in the hole. Old Uncle Neal will get you right on San Jose State, Fresno State. Now, we don't do it all the time, but if you need the help, old Uncle Neal will help you.
Yeah.
If Fresno's getting 8 at home against San Jose State, and I tell you Fresno, then that's what you do, and we get the people right. You know what I'm saying? So we are a Mountain West friendly show on this. We're probably the only one in America, but it holds a special place in all of our wallets and hearts.
Respect.
Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. They have a podcast out called This Is the S Word. Helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Pulling up on hour number 2 of Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Man, rest in peace to that porterhouse that came up here and got destroyed. You served well, porterhouse, I'll say that. Neal Ruhl, Sean Baligian in for DMAC Live at Fairway Packing Company. This is Toys R Us for steaks. And they got it all in here, too. It's kind of like it's a great setup in here. A very, very cool looking storefront. They got your needs. If you need, I don't know, something to wash those steaks down with, they have that here. It's a one-stop shop, man. 10% off all Father's Day.
You know what sometimes gets forgotten? I mean, here we're talking about all these wonderful prime meats and then the heavenly meats like the A5. And I'll say it again, your dad's worth it. Buy him an A5. A good piece of burger sometimes is so incredibly underrated.
Yep.
And this burger with a little bit of this steak salt on there, you know, whatever Christina put on there, who, by the way, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, she's up there with Bobby Flay. I mean, the way she's creating this meat over there.
The kids would say goated on the sticks.
I would suggest that she goes on to beat Bobby Flay. And like, all right, what's your signature dish, Christina? I'm making the porterhouse. Flay, your ass is going down. Christina's going to beat you.
Period.
Right?
End of story. That's it. That's all. Big Package Friday here on Big D Energy. Happy to have you all at woodwardsports.com chat thread. And jump in there. Make sure you subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever it is. And RJ Graham, real quick. See what I talk about, Sean? I live in Boise, but I do like the Aztecs in the Mountain West. I did grow up between East Lansing and Flint in Spartan country. Mountain West Nation spreads.
You know, many, many years ago, you might remember, Neal, I was huge into Boise. When Boise first started to make a name for themselves in the early aughts, one of my favorite bowl games ever was a game between Boise and Louisville, like in 2004 or whatever.
The Liberty Bowl.
Just a fantastic game, back and forth. I remember quarterback at Louisville, Stephon LaForce.
Yeah.
Phenomenal game, but so many good spots out that way.
Just for entertainment purposes only, I believe the over-under in that game was like 81 or something like that, and the over still hit. That's epic.
Wasn't it? It was like 49-48 or something crazy like that. Just a phenomenal game.
That's back when bowl season was bowl season, Sean. Speaking of the college football game, let's do it. A college football nickel package. Mr. Sean Baligian. USC getting a new practice facility with all the bells and whistles. We always see them. They're all going up everywhere. Is this the Lincoln Riley effect? And more importantly, the Big Ten bag effect? And you know what I mean.
What's interesting about this is we were talking a little bit about this about Michigan, and Michigan fans wouldn't admit this 5 years ago, but now they would gleefully admit this since they are the program in the Big Ten right now. Sorry, Ohio State. Michigan is the measuring stick. There were a group of college teams that I referred to as back. And what I meant by that is every year we heard about Texas is back, USC is back,
Notre Dame's a good one.
Miami is back, Notre Dame is back. Yes, Michigan is back. And all they did was chirp.
Right.
And it never, ever backed itself up. Michigan did it. Texas has not. USC has not yet. So I'm going to reserve judgment until this starts to translate into wins. And I'm not talking about 9-4 seasons, Princess. I'm talking about actually winning the division, winning the conference, and putting yourself in those big bowl games. That's what Michigan did. And for all those other alleged blue blood schools that play this back game, that should be the measuring stick. So I'm going to hold my judgment until I start to see some of the results on the field.
And that's fair, because that's where I'm at with it too, because they get to a level. Lincoln Riley's always gotten to a level, and then that's it. And then it all kinds of goes away. So, I'm with you on that. The practice facility and all that kind of stuff. Yes, because Lincoln Riley is not in Norman, Oklahoma anymore.
Yep.
He's in Los Angeles, California. It's a whole different ballgame financially, going into the Big Ten, too. We'll talk about the Big Ten bag coming up, as the season gets closer. Second down, Sean, I have to ask you and get your take on this. We have talked about this to a degree, but since you're here, college football, I think one of the experts in this town, one of the few experts in this town, by the way. I have to get your take on this. Deion Sanders, Colorado. Is it going to work? Because I think that it will.
I do too, and I'm sorry. I have no issue with the way he's done things. I don't know how and when we got so soft. It'd be one thing if these were a bunch of 16, 17-year-old kids and he's saying best of luck to you in future endeavors. This is a guy that knows what he wants. He knows who he wants. Let him conduct business. Let him to use the old Bill Parcells line. Let him do the shopping and make the meal. I think that's the way it should be. I don't think it's going to be easy this year. I think he's trying to put a brave face on it. You can't lose the amount of people that he lost and expect that it's just going to fire on all cylinders in year one. I think it's going to work, however. I do.
Because my thoughts are out there. I'm of the same opinion. And look, this cuts both ways. I've been so pro the name, image, and likeness. And whatever the market is for your name, it's your name.
100%.
Go get the money from it. 100% go get the money from it. But there's two edges to that sword as well. When you are not good enough, then you are not good enough anymore. And it's a business for you, and it's always been a business for the coaches. So, when you're not good enough, Sean, well, see you later.
I don't understand it. And I mean, stuff listen, culture has become such an overused buzzword in sports, especially in this town. Let's be honest. We heard about how Dan Campbell had to change the culture. We had to hear about the culture of the Red Wings. And I'm not saying that isn't true, but culture has become such an overused bit. And what I mean is, I think sometimes people use culture when it's appropriate for them.
Well, when it's propaganda.
Yeah,
right.
You know what Deion Sanders is trying to do? He's trying to change the culture.
Yeah.
We applaud coaches like that around here, right?
I thought we do.
We all do. We drop our pants around our ankles and go, oh, isn't it great? Look at him. He's trying to change the culture. When Deion does it, somehow people have an issue with it. I don't blame him at all for walking into a team meeting, and I'm sure you heard the story by now. Somebody's got the boom box, and they're all, jumping around and acting the part, and he goes, what the heck are you doing? This is not the way we're going to do things around here.
We're 1-11.
What's wrong with that?
Right.
What am I missing something?
When you figure it out, please text me and let me know what it is, because I don't know either. I have some thoughts as to what it might be. But, when you do figure it out, please let me know. All right, third down, SEC schedule for 2024 came out yesterday. That's when Texas and Oklahoma will join the SEC. And, Sean, they're going to get exactly what they signed up for. Oklahoma in 2024 will have home games. Oh, they'll just be playing Alabama at home, Tennessee at home, Texas at home. And, they'll be on the road at LSU. They'll be at Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. They're getting exactly what they signed up for. Texas on the other side, they'll be hosting Georgia. They'll be hosting Florida. They'll be at Texas A&M. They'll be at Oklahoma. So, Sean, this is a long way of me saying this. Tell me again about that Michigan-Texas game in 2024. That ain't happening. Why would Texas do that?
Why? Absolutely. I think one of the worst bits in recent years, and I think it's the Big Ten's way to try to acknowledge the fact that the SEC has been king for a lot longer than anybody wants to win. When they start hammering the SEC for their scheduling, especially late in the year, it always cracks me up, Neal, because it's such a dumb bit. Hey, there's a dirty little secret. A lot of these teams play each other in the first few weeks of the season, okay? while we're playing Western Michigan, while we're playing Central Michigan, while we're playing Eastern Michigan, they have those
And you
games.
say we as in the Big Ten.
Yeah, as in the Big Ten, absolutely. So when I hear people do this on a yearly basis, it's like, dude, go back 8 weeks ago. They were playing in-conference opponents quite often early on in the season. Neal, looking at some of these future schedules, I know Florida, I was looking at their schedule in 2024. That is like the nastiest schedule I may have ever seen. I mean, honestly, one of the by the way, one of their out-of-conference games is Miami. So you have the Big Ten slate and you throw – I mean, it's gross, but I'll tell you what. As we look at this changing landscape of college football, and nothing has changed in college football or anything in sports like college football, it is going to be an opportunity, I think, for a two-loss team to go win the championship, Neal. I really do.
Yep.
I don't know how you would have to be one of Saban's great teams or even that LSU team from a couple years back to kind of go through this unscathed.
There's no chance.
I can't imagine how.
There's no chance.
You literally have to be a super team to do that. I can't imagine how you do.
Are you going to go into LSU, go into Auburn, who that's a pairing on a lot of team schedules? Oh, by the way, when you play Bama or Georgia, beat them too, and then go into LSU, and then I know Auburn's down, but go into Auburn, go into Texas A&M, all on the same schedule. There's zero chance of that.
And I think what a lot of people forget is, then you've got the Ole Miss on your schedule who can jump up and bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
One of the most overrated coaches in the history of mankind. I mean, look at his resume. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
But fun as hell.
But he's fun as hell. I think he's great for college football.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's capable of knocking you off.
Right.
He may not win you the conference, but he's certainly capable of knocking you off. So I think that'll make things interesting. You would have to be. I remember a couple years back.
Yeah.
People were talking about is that LSU team, the Burrow LSU team with Ed Ogeron, who I miss dearly. He was a gift to all of us. Is that the best college football team you've ever seen? I would put them up there. I still say Nebraska in '95 was an absolute machine.
I say the 01 Hurricanes, but whatever.
Listen, go look at Nebraska's when you have a minute. Go look at Nebraska's win totals. It was gross.
Yeah.
They didn't just beat teams. They I mean, it was almost a weekly steamroll. I think their closest game was 2 touchdowns or something, but wins in the 40s, wins in the 30s. But you understand my point. Whether you say Miami, whether you say that LSU team was unbelievable. That LSU team might not go unbeaten with this schedule. I mean, I think that tells you everything you know.
It's an absolute monster. Fourth down here real quick. You kind of touched on it a little bit. Can Big Ten fans still complain about SEC team schedules after hearing this? And look, for the Lorena Rioses and the Michigan apologists that are in the chat thread, you guys know where I stand with this, right? If I'm Michigan, I'm not playing that Texas game because the way it's set up now, I can lose to Ohio State and still be in the playoff because a one-loss Michigan team will forever be in the top 10. It doesn't matter who they play. And guys, Michigan fans, look, I would do it the same way. I would do it the exact same way.
You got nothing. I agree with you. You got nothing to apologize for. I think there was a time in this conference, and I was somebody that said it, we have to improve our mark. I think our name was mud. And I think, Ohio State winning some big games. People forget Michigan State for a while, winning some of those big games, going out and winning games against top 5 opponents, especially at bowl season. That counts for something. That's cred. Right now, Neal, whether people want to believe it or not, I don't care. I've said this for as long as I can remember. I'll continue to say it. We in Big Ten land love to make excuses. We do. We love to make excuses for what our teams aren't doing. And I don't blame Michigan in any way, shape, or form for scheduling the way they do. I think the hubbub about the SEC schedule, as we talked about earlier, was malarkey. And now it really is malarkey.
No, absolutely.
1937 called and wants the word malarkey back.
Kevin Bell says, Neal, you think you know. Guys, and there's some people saying, no, Michigan can't. Guys, a one-loss Michigan team in any world An 11-1 Michigan team is in the top 10 in every poll and is going to the playoff.
In all likelihood, I would say probably yes. Yeah, in all likelihood. I mean, there are always different circumstances. There might be, exception to the rule type of stuff, where a whole bunch of different variables happen. But in all likelihood, I would agree with you.
Period. End of story there. And as long as that Michigan-Ohio State game puts up the ratings it puts up, they will always be there, guys. Always. That's why Ohio State got in last year. It's always going to be that way. Hey, a fifth down, real quick. Sean, how can I get a Heisman vote?
Honestly, Neal, I've been, and I know all the stuff that you've done. That's one of the coolest things on my resume was getting that phone call.
Do they call you out of the blue?
I did. I was on my way to a broadcast. I was on my way to a Wayne State broadcast, and I don't know if he wants me to say his name. I'll tell you off the air. But basically, the country is separated in 6 regions.
Yeah, Midwest, West.
And the guy who runs the region is somebody you may know. And I was on my way to a game, and my wife called me on my cell and said, "You have to call this guy." And I knew who the guy was, and I said, "Why?" And she wouldn't tell me. She said, "Trust me, you have to call this guy." And he had my home number, not my cell. And I said, "Okay, I'm not letting you off that easy." And she said, "Okay, I promised I wouldn't tell you, but you're not going to let me be. Like, they want to ask you to be a Heisman voter." And that was pretty cool. So, I don't even know what the criteria is. I think, because I called games at a couple different spots and did some college football shows and things like that. I think that's how it happened. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
It is pretty cool. It's like getting your hair cut at Lady Jane's. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Go to Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Got it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sean Baligian in for D-Mac. Through all the years we've known each other, first time we've ever done a show before, which is wild to me.
And I know we've talked to each other so many times on the air, obviously off the air and everything. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. We got JB Smoove, we got Parker. The whole squad is out here at Fairway Packing Company, your home for meat Father's Day weekend. 10% off everything when you walk in here. They've got it all laid out. The highest quality steaks, meats, all of it. That's what your dad wants. We've talked about it here today. We got the big meat package coming up in the next segment. I have some questions for Sean. I think it's relevant. It's germane. I like that word. Germane to the discussion. But since Sean is here, we're doing a DMAC 5-4 fighting. Sean, let's cook through this one real quick. Number 1, I heard a fair question yesterday on another sports station in town. See, I do this weird thing where I give people credit when they come up with something.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, it was an afternoon show yesterday on another.
Well, I can tell. I've never been ripped off.
It's really wild. But anyway, do Vegas Golden Knight fans deserve a Stanley Cup? 6 years of struggle, 6 years of heartbreak, going to the Stanley Cup Finals in the first year of existence, losing, but then finally righting the wrongs. I mean, there were generations of Golden Knight fans that were celebrating. They don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it, but can I say this?
No, you can't. You said they don't.
No, I need to say this, though, Neal.
No, you don't.
You know what? I think people are being really bitchy about this. What did the Golden Knights do wrong? Nothing. They did nothing wrong. These were the dumb rules that the NHL gave them. They didn't do anything wrong. They took advantage of moronic decision-making and the welcome to the NHL package. So you don't have anything to apologize for. You didn't do anything wrong. Enjoy your Stanley Cup. If every team could have a welcome to the NHL package like that, maybe they'd win the Stanley Cup.
All right, well, this mixes in nicely with that, Sean. Number 2. We talked about this on the show yesterday. I brought this up, and I want your opinion on it. It was easier for Vegas as an expansion team. As you said, some of the rules that were set up, I would contend it was because they came in with a clean slate financially. Steve Yzerman, when he walked into the Red Wings situation, Justin Abdelkader is still getting paid from this organization. Franz Nielsen had a $36 million contract. Steve Yzerman walked in to all these things. It's far easier for an expansion team to walk in with the clean slate and win than it is for Steve Yzerman to come in here with the cap setup that they had and the liabilities they had on the payroll. It's far easier for Vegas to do it than what Steve Yzerman has to do.
1,000%. I'll give you an example. So I think I'm a Habs fan. 2 years ago, they had this miraculous run to the finals. They lost to Tampa in 5. I was making jokes. I wish they'd quit the league, be able to keep Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, and get the welcome to the NHL package after going to the Stanley Cup Finals that the Vegas Knights got.
Right.
And here's part of the problem, and I know I've talked about this with the likes of Tammy in years gone by. People expected Steve Yzerman to come to Detroit and literally walk on water and perform miracles. And the difference when he came here and went to Tampa is 2. There was not a Steven Stamkos waiting, and there was not a Victor Hedman here. This was a legitimate nearly start over. And couple that with what you just said, there was no way this was going to happen on the same time frame that it happened in Tampa. So absolutely, positively, that welcome to the NHL package, which, by the way, the league knows full well was too good because they didn't give Seattle that same welcome to the NHL package. No question. You give a general manager a choice like that, he's probably going to take that.
Yeah, no question. William Turnbull says, I'm fine with Vegas winning a cup. Mike G says, you should give Michigan more credit, Neal. Just saying. All right, well, beat somebody outside the Big Ten and we'll talk. And I've been consistent with that. But we're not here for that right now. We're doing the DMAC 5-4 fighting. Number 3, Sean, you and I, through the years, I'm a big OHL guy. I hit you up about this guy when he was at Erie. Video game numbers. Alex DeBrincat. Are you interested in him? I've been big on this guy forever. I take a lot of heat here because I say I'm willing to kick the tires on it. The response I always get is, I'm not interested in a small winger. Your thoughts?
You know what I say? And this is strange coming from an old school guy like me. Maybe you're not paying attention to the league today. Honestly, I'll take...
I'm weird about 40 goals on your resume.
It's kind of weird how that works out. I'll take DeBrincat. I'll take Cole Caulfield. The game has changed so much, and this is why people like me were screaming for the Wings to draft Quinn Hughes. This is what the game is. You get those puck-moving defensemen who are going to get the puck up to guys that are just waiting for somebody to feed them the puck. Scoring knows no height. It knows no height. And it'd be one thing if these guys stopped scoring when they got to a particular position. But you got a 5'7" guy in Cole Caulfield. All he does is score. You got a 5'7" guy in Alex DeBrincat. All he's done is score at every level. Why wouldn't you be interested in that? Now, here's the big question, and I know people around here don't like to hear this, okay? You ready? I'm going to whisper it.
Yes.
Is he interested in Detroit?
Well, yeah.
Of course, everybody wants to be in Detroit, right?
It's hockey time.
No,
I don't know if you knew that or not.
Those are the things that we have to have these conversations. When I hear all these magical names are going to somehow end up in Detroit, especially via free agency, is Detroit exactly a desirable spot right now? Right now? The answer is no.
They're every other NHL team.
Can it be? Can it be again and soon? And I want you to know, DMAC especially, you know this. I believe in the Yzer plan. I do. I'm in, okay? But right now, today, what is it, June 16th? If I'm Alex DeBrincat and I have this team after me, you know what I'm saying? where's my biggest chance to get not only the bag, but get to the ring as well, okay?
Right.
And there are a handful of teams that would offer him a better chance at getting both.
Agree 100%. WoodwardSports.com, chat thread, Mike G. Neal, we can't help that Sparty sucks. Guys, I'm not a Spartan. See, this is what's different with me when I talk about it. I talk about it.
Can I?
Yes.
You guys were saying Sparty sucks when they were kicking your ass. We're never going to win. When they were kicking your ass, that's what makes you such a magical fan base. At least you never change your tune. Now I can tolerate it because you guys are the measuring stick. And I say that with respect. But you know, the Michigan State never beat Michigan.
Well, I've got no affiliation.
There were bad calls. Yeah. There was trouble with the snap. Forget that they crushed you multiple times. You people never own it when you're bad. So actually now I'm happy that you're good because that way all your talk, you deserve it.
Yeah.
You're actually taking care of business in the conference. You're actually beating your rivals. But put yourself in our position or Ohio State's position. That was the crap you were talking when you were routinely getting your poo pushed in. Like, come on, man. Am I allowed to say that?
And I'm not affiliated with Michigan State at all. It's always been the same. Beat somebody of relevance, not in the Big Ten. Show me.
I have respect for what they're doing right now. To me, I can't be a hypocrite. What I always said back then is, because as you remember, Michigan fan always conjured up magical scenarios where they could make it into the playoff without winning the Big Ten because they were incapable of winning the Big Ten for so long. You know where everything starts? It starts in your conference. That's where everything starts. You have to take
Not anymore,
care.
Sean.
Yeah. You still do. You still do.
See,
when
this becomes a philosophical
when it
difference.
changes,
Yeah.
when the playoff changes. But for now, until the playoff changes, you have to take care of business in your conference. You do. I mean, it's that simple. So with that being said, they couldn't do it. Now they're doing it, and you leave nothing to chance when you take care of business in your conference, and you have to give credit where credit is due. They're doing it in conference.
All right, real quickly, last two, rapid fire. Red Wings a playoff team next year. That's number 4. Right here, right now.
Yes, but not dangerous.
Okay. Number 5. You got dudes from the Florida Panthers saying that they're going in for shoulder surgery. They won't be ready for training camp next year. What is the matter with hockey players? What is the deal with these guys, man? They're going to be out for months. Eric Black was out there on the ice, man. He's not going to be back for 2 months.
The broken sternum is, I mean, that might be the tippy top.
Get a broken sternum.
That might be the ticky top. Listen, you guys, think about, so I had a car accident a couple months ago. I broke 4 ribs. I had never broken 4 at one time. I had a couple. I can't even put into, like, the discomfort from that. The man's sternum was broken.
He played in an NHL game.
What are you doing? It's insanity.
What's with these guys?
It's insanity.
Yeah, okay.
Boy,
That's
he
the
fun
answer
to watch? Wasn't he? Boy, was Matthew fun to watch.
And oh, by the way, real quick, Sean, let me run this one by you before I get to the break. Remember, they traded for Tkachuk. They gave up a 115-point guy, a first-round pick, and a top-level prospect. That's what it took.
And people thought that they got taken to the cleaners. And let's not forget his younger brother, a guy that I saw play when I was doing NTDP broadcasts, Brady Tkachuk. I think he still owns the soul of the Detroit Red Wings. If you remember that,
yes.
You know, when we were all getting excited and maybe the Wings can make a little push, that home-and-home series that they had with Brady Tkachuk, he literally took the soul of the Red Wings. Those Tkachuk brothers going to be around for a long time.
All right, when we come back, we got the big meat package here live from the Fairway Packing Company. Some questions I need to ask Sean. But, guys, you can join us in the Dispo family live at the Hazel Park location on June 23rd. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and the Woodward Heavyweights from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Come prepared. Dispo Dispensary will take your cannabis experience to new heights. Located at 634 West 9 Mile Road in Hazel Park. See you there for Ermanni's and Edwards with Maz and the Heavyweights live June 23rd at Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for
Look
Detroit.
at that. Neal, you need.
Hey, It's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports, the only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sean, Baligian, JB Smooth, Parker here in the house as well. Big Package Friday live at Fairway Packing Company. Chef Christina.
There is nothing in the world like that.
This is Wagyu steak.
There is nothing in the world like it. I'm telling you, get your dad some A5.
I've never had it before.
Do it. There's nothing in the world like it. I mean, serious. I hope I didn't oversell it for you. It is life-changing. I even told Neal when Christina was nice enough to bring it up, I had to watch Neal eat it. I didn't even grab a piece. I had to watch Neal eat it to try. That is the best piece of meat you'll ever have. I'm telling you. Oh, my God. Come here, get your dad an A5. He might break into tears when he's eating it, and he'll go, son, you do love me. Daughter, you do love me.
Because I had questions this whole time. I wasn't sure.
You will convince your dad that you love him if you get him a piece of A5.
Oh, my gosh,
Isn't that good?
That shook me.
It's meat butter. It does.
Yeah.
It literally, it melts in your mouth. I wish I could explain it differently,
That is
but
crazy.
it melts in your mouth.
Well, in honor of that, that can't be oversold. You couldn't oversell that. In honor of that, Sean, a big meat package on Big Package Friday.
Yes.
Your expertise is needed. Number one, this comes from Neal in Washington Township.
All right, Neal.
Number one, is it really worth it to get a smoker?
Yes, absolutely, positively. Now, with that being said, I'm always careful to say I don't want to disrespect. You can see what Christina's doing over there. You can't put a price tag on your old charcoal grill. You can't. There's something about the charcoal. You can't put a price tag on it. I also have a big Weber, which is propane. It's tremendous. But, Neal, I would say there was a good 2 years where my little pack of smoking fiend friends. We smoked literally everything you can on the smoker. And there are different smokers. You could get a smaller one. Like I have a Masterbuilt that is tremendous for when, a few of the boys came over. I have the big old Traeger that if you're having a big event where you have a lot of people coming over or you're doing
like
a
racks
big family
of ribs
event.
or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The 24-pound brisket.
Racks on racks on racks.
Yeah, multiple different pork butts in there. Absolutely, positively, if you like to grill, you like the backyard experience, get yourself a smoker, and it's not as expensive as you think.
Okay. All right. I'll reach out to you for more on that when it comes down to it. What's your favorite cut of steak? Because mine's going to be blasphemous, but go ahead.
The A5. There's nothing. That's it. That you give me a good way.
It's that. Yeah.
You go all the way to the top. You go to A5 as we were talking about with the boys from Fairway. There's nothing like it. I've never tasted anything like it. There's nothing that replicates it for me.
This is more common, man, I guess you would say, as far as the steak family goes. My favorite steak in the world is the ribeye that I cook.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
The New York strip. Because everybody,
It's number two.
I love a good strip.
Yeah.
And people are like, dude, where's the marbling? Don't you want a perfectly cooked New York strip to me? And when I say perfectly cooked, I mean you're barely cooking it, okay?
Right.
I want that as red as me punching you in the mouth and watching the blood fly out of your mouth. Seriously, a New York strip is such an underrated piece of meat to me.
I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. I've gotten big on the searing too. You know, you get your middle the way you want it, and then boom, you drop it in the depths of hell for about 60 seconds on both sides, and then away we go.
So
Sean.
can I tell you what I did the other day? Have you ever done a reverse sear?
Yes.
I had a wonderful tenderloin. Just the kids and I were home.
Ribeye's getting a lot of love in the chat thread. by the way.
Oh yeah, because it's that marbling. I get it. I get it. I had a wonderful tenderloin the other day, and I did this reverse sear, and my kids went gaga over it. I think the reverse sear is incredibly underrated, and it gives you that crust that I think really is a difference maker.
That's it for me. The crusting is all of it. Grilled steak or pan-seared? Number
Both.
3. Fair enough.
Can I tell you, I want to go back to, if I'm doing a steak for me, I'm going to grill it and I'm going to sear it. I mean, the way that I did it the other day, I don't think I could just sit at the grill anymore and just fire a steak on. I know I gotta turn the heat up high and give it that good sear to seal in the flavor. So I'm not trying to cheat on you here. Both.
All right, number 4, and this is close to home for me. This is in the Ruhl household. This goes on this way. My wife is this way. I'm not asking for marital advice. I'm talking about steak, all right? I just want that out there. What do you do if someone asks you for a well-done steak? Because that's what my wife asks for all the time.
Christina, did you hear that?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Christina, did you hear that?
It's better she didn't. It's better she didn't. It's better she didn't.
His wife likes well-done steak. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a legitimate chef.
Should I file for divorce?
No.
Should I?
Yes. No. Have you ever said to her, honey, light of my life, love of my life, let me make even a medium rare for you? She won't do it. She won't even try it.
Won't even try it. It's too red.
Well, that's when I tell her she's closed-minded, and we go down that road. And I don't know why.
That's a great road.
I don't know why you hate me so much, honey. If you love me, you try this medium rare, right? Have you ever tried that route? She won't do it?
No, red in the meat. She won't go for it, man. She won't go for it. I've converted my sons to it. They're all about it. It's team medium.
I don't know what I don't know what I do.
I think it's enough for me that the Suns are on board with it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I might do? No, I have some old sneakers in my garage. I might fire an old sneaker on the grill and tell her, "Look, honey, I made your steak," because it tastes the same difference.
So I give you these questions. I'm not getting. Ryan's reaction says, "Give her a burger." Elgato says, "Send her to jail."
Send her to jail.
Jack Carrington says, "Yep, divorce is the only option." So, Sean, you have no answer for me, right? There's a long way of saying you don't have an answer.
Put a leather shoe on there and tell her it's a well-done steak. Tastes the same.
That's what I know that. I know that, Sean. I don't know what else to do with it. Finally, number 5. How much is too char? And this is Spenmo Rack. Spencer Rackster came up with this list, by the way. And here's how I know. Tell me it was Spencer without telling me it's Spencer. Well, number 5. How much char is too much char on a hot dog?
Okay, am I cooking for me or am I cooking for the masses? If I'm cooking for me, I like it dark.
So do I.
I like it dark. If I'm cooking for the masses,
I want crunch.
you have to do that Dalmatian kind of color. Right?
It's spotted.
Yeah.
It's been kissed.
Yeah.
It's been kissed by the char.
Just in a couple spots. And if one gets a little too dark, I take it off the direct heat and everything. Now, if some cat walks up to me, Neal rolls over my house and goes, dude, can you make it a little darker?
Make it your way?
I might give you a big hug and go, that's my man, and I'll do that for you.
Pour another bourbon?
If it's for me, I like the dark, but more often than not, I'm gonna roll with that Dalmatian style.
I know. Here's a suggestion from John Lord, and blindfold her and have her do a taste test. Oh, that's actually pretty good. She can't get past the red of the meat, though. She can't. It's weird. It's wild. I know.
You know, I'm going to have to apologize to my wife because I thought it was weird. She doesn't even like medium rare. She wants like a a nice solid medium. And I don't care what anybody says. There's a big difference between medium and medium rare. There's a big difference.
100%.
I'm going to have to apologize to her and tell her she's not that much of a heathen, because
there are people out there.
Yeah, there are, and I get it. I don't get it. I don't. I'm not gonna pretend.
Guys, I'm sorry.
I don't want to be disrespectful to your wife.
No, I mean, there's nothing that can be done. Like there is no, I can't. There's nothing that can be done at this point, Sean. Like we're 20 years into
It's
the
hopeless,
game, bro.
right?
Yeah. Like we're 20 years in the game. You pretty much are what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like you are what you are at this point. Yeah, we got one more package to get through, as a matter of fact. And guys, I got to do this on the spot with you here. This next read, Big Boy, right? Right? Oh, Randy Wise. That's right. Okay, got you guys. That's what it is. Our friends at the Randy Wise Automotive Group. You guys already know what it is. How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Well, thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you can do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice with your next automotive purchase. Hit up your Randy Wise Automotive Team dealership. So pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information coming soon on the Randy Wise Automotive Celebrity Golf Tour.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Allen! Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Sean Baligian, my friend, is here. He's your friend too, everybody. Generations of the midday slot here at Woodward Sports. Big honor to be working with Shawnee B here today. Lots of fun. We got JB Smoove in the house, Parker. They've been holding it down, our promotions team, everybody here with Woodward Sports. And the people here at Fairway Packing Company.
Oh.
Number one, the Wagyu steak. Number 2, the porterhouse steak. Number 3, the burgers. They've been great. You guys got enough to eat, right? Like everybody's knocking it down. Oh my God, it is unbelievable here. 10% off all Father's Day weekend. We're in Grosse Pointe Shores down here. You want to get you know what your dad wants? That exotic cut of meat. They have it right on the other side of this brick wall. Your hopes and dreams are all on the inside of this building. They got stuff you can get to wash it down afterwards, all of it. It is a one-stop shop. It's awesome out here.
Phenomenal. It really is. I don't care what section of town you are. If you're somebody we've commiserated so much over, Neal, you might remember during the pandemic, the whole lockdown, my buddies and I would go in the backyard and just put out spreads. And we just started putting the pictures out there, and we have our own little community on Twitter and whatnot. I'll put the call out to all my boys. I don't care if you're north of here, if you're on the side of town that I am, out in Northville, you're downriver, this is the spot. Come out here and see these guys. They'll take care of you.
FGM says in all caps, so you know he's serious. I'm now starving with 4 hours of work to go. Thanks a lot, jerks.
Sorry.
Hey, I'll be that jerk. For this, I'll be that jerk. All right, final big package of Big Package Friday, the starting rotation. Baseball taking center stage. Now, Sean, I teased this one a little bit earlier. The Tigers had lost 10 of their last 11 games before last night. They beat the Twins. All's well on Twitter. People are talking about, well, you know, you sweep the series and you're back and you're 5 games back. They can still make a run in this division. Sean, diagnose this. are we that desperate for anything? Is that what it is?
I'm convinced that's what it is.
Because conventional wisdom says, what do you do? They had lost 10 of 11.
This is not a good team, but as you and I touched on this earlier, the one thing that everybody can think about, and this is what's giving people help, I don't have hope in what the Detroit Tigers are doing. There's nothing about the Detroit Tigers that make me say, wow. My hope is coming from other places, and there's a problem with that. I want to have hope in the Detroit Tigers. Now, we can play the game, well, if Matt Manning gets back and Eduardo gets back and Scooble gets back, well, then we can play that game, right? But right now, my hope is not coming from the home base. My hope is coming from the rest of this division. This division is historically awful. How the Minnesota Twins have been able to hold on to first place for as long as they have is a testament to how historically bad this division is. I want to be excited about the Tigers, not about the misery of others.
I know.
And there's nothing to be excited about.
There's nothing to be excited about, man. There's just nowhere to go. But Twitter was electric last night. Electric.
A lot of shiny, happy people on there that were singing the praises of Al Avila just a year and a half ago.
Jack Harrington, Neal, the AL Central this year is hot garbage. And no, there's no doubt. There's no question about it, guys. And look, I love beating the Twins. My most hated rival in the history of sports is Metrodome era Twins. Hate it.
House of horrors.
Yeah.
I saw
Chop the ball in the ground and bounces up in the air.
I saw too many just bad things happen in that park. Game 163. That
Mike
took
G,
years off my life, by the way.
Mike G wants to know real quick, Sean, which is weaker, the AL Comedy Central or the Big Ten West?
AL Central.
See, I would say the West because Iowa brings it down.
But here's the thing about Iowa. They have what I affectionately call the Ference every couple years, where they mix in a pretty darn good team. Not good enough to win the Big Ten, but a pretty darn good team. And if you look at it,
like a Big Ten good team.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great way to put it.
Big Ten good.
Kirk Ferentz, there is nothing but garbage right now in this division. Here are the White Sox, okay?
Yeah.
The White Sox were literally begging, please rip us apart. Like figuratively and literally. And they passed the Tigers. That's how bad this division is right now.
I know. And I'm saving it for later because they're behind 3 teams. And I do that old bit that every time those teams in front of you play each other, you can't gain ground. You can only use. I'll save that.
Okay.
I'll save that till July.
Okay.
Trade deadline. I'll save it till then. All right, here we go. Number 2, is Torque figuring it out? 10 for his last 28, 5 extra base hits. I keep hearing about it. Speaking of Twitter, Torque is Twitter's hero. But then you look, and he's still hitting 230. I know the batting averages and everything. But to me, here's the kicker, and you'll laugh at this. When I listen to the games on the radio, when he hits the ball, and I was the first one to tear apart this whole hard hit rate stuff.
It's Brandon Inch. It is. I mean, remember the crap that we heard about Brandon Inch?
It does sound different when he hits. Is he figuring it out?
All right. I'm sorry to do it this way, but I try my hardest to be fair. He's figuring it out in regards to, I think he's a legitimate major leaguer now.
Okay.
Which before I didn't think he was. I mean, there was a while where I was like, do I think he is number 1 overall? No. Do I think he could be a legitimate major leaguer now? Yes. He's going to have to do a hell of a lot more to make me think that he's a special player.
Your answer is expectations.
Yes,
based.
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, we have to. Whether that's fair to him or not, in my mind, is inconsequential. When you are selected where you're selected in a draft, gosh darn it, you got to be that. It's that simple.
That's it. That's all, man.
Yep.
I'm with you on that. That's it. That's all. And I don't see a world where he's 1-1. I don't see it.
I can't.
I don't see it. I don't see a path.
No, I'm with you. I can't. A darn good player, and let's face it. I think a lot of us would be happy if he was just a darn good player with all the struggling we saw. But I think he can still become that yet.
All right. It's well known in these fronts. I'm a Penei Sewell simp. I am also a Miguel Cabrera simp. Miggy's hitting 400 in June, like in the month of June. We're getting into Father's Day weekend now. All right. Sean, I'm just being honest with you. I still, to this day, even with this iteration of Miguel Cabrera, if I'm in the house messing around with something and I hear Miguel Cabrera's coming up, I still stop what I'm doing and watch.
I think that's fair. There have been far too many pathetic moments with Miguel Cabrera for me in the past couple years. I know it hasn't been easy the last 7 years, but there have been downright pathetic moments, if we're being honest about it. And it was, I think even a couple weeks ago, Neal, it bothered me as somebody who had season tickets to Comerica Park when we watched one of the greatest hitters of our lifetime. And I think a lot of times a kid can put it in perspective. So my son is 23 years old, right? And he said, Dad, this is really difficult because I've watched this guy like be absolutely dominant. And this guy, I know it hurt. He's been embarrassing far too often. It has been nice to see this because I was really starting to feel sorry for Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, I was too, no doubt.
There's always going to be that part of me, though, and I hate to put it this way, and I know I'm not going to mention any names, but there is somebody in the Tigers front office who was talking like this 10 years ago. If this guy even tried a little bit to take care of himself, how great of a player could he have been? Because he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I wonder, Sean, and look, we know guys in the business, we know athletes that have been this way. If he were to go down that road, would he lose some of his edge?
That's
you know
a great
what I'm
question.
saying?
No, I don't
that's
know.
That's the DNA of some people, man.
I know
we all know somebody like that in our lives that you're like, wow, dude, why do you do this to yourself? But they're great at what they do.
There was somebody within the Tigers who would openly say that. Like, if he just took a little bit care of himself. And, Neal, what we've seen in the last few years of his career is, to me, the guy's legs are shot.
No doubt.
Now, when you're my age and you have a bicycle accident and blow out your knee and rip your groin at 47 years old, your leg should be shot. When you're 34, 35, 36 years old and beyond, your leg shouldn't be shot. If he took a little bit care of himself, would he have been able to elongate it and dare I say, even have the late revival that Albert Pujols had? Absolutely. Yeah. You're going to have to do a lot more than just the last couple weeks to make me think that this is Albert Pujols 2.0.
No, and I'm not saying that.
And I know you're not suggesting that,
I'm not
but
saying that.
I've heard some people say that. I just think there's only so much a guy can do when your legs are shot and his legs are shot.
And we just have to be mindful, everybody. It was always going to end like this. Always.
100%.
And case in point, because I know everyone wants to point their fingers at Miggy and things like that, but the bottom line is 31,000 of you went to the park on his bobblehead day. It's business on both sides. It's business for Miggy, and oh, by the way, it's business for the Tigers, too.
It still is. We're having this.
It's the whole marketing campaign this year.
We're having this entire marketing campaign based on a guy that is absolutely done and has been done for a few years, if we're being honest.
Sure.
But we all get it, right? We all get it, and I think it'll take some time. Here, can I give you an example? You're a basketball guy.
Yes.
I was so done with the Pistons core by the time 2008 rolled around. I was done with all of them, across the board. Yeah. I thought they became whiners. Tayshaun Prince, all that. Yeah. I was done. But you know what? Time heals those wounds.
Yes, it does.
It's going to take a few years, I think, for me to get the bad taste of watching Miguel Cabrera become near a corpse in his last few years. And that's the way you know what? I love Chauncey. I love Tayshaun.
Yeah.
I love Ben. I love Rip. You know, it takes some time to get that out of the system, and I think we have the tendency to remember the good times, so to speak.
No, absolutely. Let's do this. I'm going to take the break. We'll finish the starting rotation when we come back. People want to ask Habs Man segment as well. He's not here.
He's not here.
He's not here. If he shows up, then we'll do it.
But he's talking about. It's not me.
Yeah, I know. We're not doing an ad. Habs Man has to be. Maybe he's on the other side of this brick wall getting 10% off his purchase at Fairway Packing Company. Is he smart enough to do that or no?
I think so, yeah. He's been over my house enough.
Well, hey, after he's done there, he can slide by Big Boy because Strawberry Fest is back. You can try the classic breakfast items like strawberry hotcakes, maybe a mouth-watering red velvet waffle, huh? Not a breakfast person? That's cool. I'm not either. But I am a strawberry bacon chicken wrap person. Can confirm. You want to go the salad route? Cover your ears, Sean. You want to go the salad route? Get the Summer Splash salad. Don't forget to get dessert. That's the whole point of all this. The Berry Classic Delicious Strawberry Pie. It's what started this whole movement. Deep fried vanilla Oreos or strawberry hot fudge cake. It's Strawberry Fest. Get to your local big boy today.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Neal Ruhl here for Outdoor Equipment Company. Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, parts. They carry top brands such as Bad Boy. They sponsor a bowl game. Bad Boy Mowers Bowl. I know Sean remembers that one. LS Tractor, Steel, and more. They service the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more info, go to OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Again, as they would say in Canada, OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground. Final segment of the show here, live from Fairway Packing Company. Other side of this wall, the answer to all your hopes and dreams. 10% off all of your steak, meat needs in there. The people here at Fairway Packing Company have been incredible. The food's incredible. Wagyu steak they sent over here, burgers, all of it. It is awesome. It is awesome.
You know, I kind of feel guilty. Can I apologize?
Yeah.
Some of the guys at the table said, well, I've never tried the Wagyu. And we were willing to share everything. But, guys, I'm not sharing my Wagyu with you. I don't know what to tell you. That's mine.
Yeah.
You go take that up with Christina, okay? And you know what Christina will do? She'll point you to the rack in the store. Go buy some. It's absolutely worth it, boys.
Peaceful Tim says, Neal, you shouldn't talk with your mouth full. That's table manners. Hey, I'm a professional. I could pull it off, and I certainly did. All right, last part of the Big Package Friday. We are doing the starting rotation. Sean, what about this? Because this is intriguing to me because this shows like the Scott Harris era and the A.J. Hinch situation. Tigers were last in the league at drawing walks last year. By far last in the league. They're 8th this year. And that's with Javi Baez on the team, which is incredible. I think if you handicap for Baez, they would be first. Scott Harris said it's a focus. A.J. Hinch said it was a focus. They've delivered. So, like, the people that talk about the coaching, hitting coach is always a buzzword around here. They've delivered, Sean.
That is such a bad bit, isn't it, the hitting coach?
No, the hitting coach.
It is such a bad bit. They have delivered. Look, I think, to me, a lot of people finally, the light hit them when they realized that this Al Avila thing was a joke and went on for about 4 years too long, like I met you. So, like I told you 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think now it's those little things that you want to see. It may not manifest itself with 85 wins. It may not even manifest itself with 70. I don't think they're going to hit 70 wins, truth be told. But you want to see little things. And you want to see things like, maybe there's something there with Matt Verling. Okay, I'm not saying that he's going to be a key cog to a championship team. Maybe there's something there with McKinstry, although you've seen his numbers go down, in particular
3
the on
for his
base.
last 31.
It's in particular the on base. I think his on base for a while was so high. Those are the things that I'm looking at with this team, and I need to repeat myself. I'm not excited about the crappiness around us. I want to be excited about what the Tigers are doing.
There's a philosophy. Like, there's a direction, there's
Absolutely.
an identity, there's something where they said, hey, this is what we're going to take care of and fix.
Absolutely.
They fixed it.
Yep.
For real. And it might not result in wins now because the talent isn't there, despite what I was told from a previous regime. But that is the case. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Neal and Sean together are like Sergey and Stevie. I would be more Sergey, I think.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think you're the star. You're all encompassing, right?
No, because I'm not interested. I just want to drive the Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? I just want to drive the Ferrari.
You.
All right,
nice.
last question here, and we will get out of here. Number 5 in the starting rotation. Could a younger Sean Baligian do the 999 challenge? Now, for those that don't know, Spencer's talked about it. 9 hot dogs, 9 beers in 9 innings at the baseball game.
Absolutely. I mean, you remember
the confidence.
You remember me back in the day when I still had a knee and metabolism. My former radio partner Killer always used to accuse me of having like a tapeworm.
Yeah.
Because I could eat I ate 10 conies in one setting, and he was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't. I wish I could explain it. I stayed 188 pounds for years. Absolutely no problem. Don't disrespect me like that with a question like that. Today, no way. Today,
yeah, I got no shot.
No way.
I got no shot.
I couldn't do
that.
444. Yeah, I could. I could do 444. I'd top out at 666.
Yeah, that would be a little aggressive.
I'd probably go to hell too.
It is. It's a little aggressive. Well, Sean, we did it, man. Appreciate you coming
Thanks
out,
for
man. It was everything
me, man.
I thought it would be.
No, really, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Absolutely.
And it's been great to watch you become the media person you are. I think you're a testament to good things happen to good people.
No, man, you're somebody I go to, man, for advice about stuff like that. And it doesn't matter if we don't talk for 3 months. You answer the phone when I call, man. So I do appreciate it. Big shout out, JB Smoove and Parker, our whole team here at Woodward. And last but certainly not least, probably most importantly, everybody at Fairway Packing Company as well.
I'm going to go hug Christina right now. She made. I mean, I'm so happy right now. Thanks, you, Christina.
Thanks to Gino for coming up here and joining us for a few minutes. And Christina, she's the real MVP, as Kevin Durant would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So for Sean Baligian, our entire crew, and everybody here at Fairway Packing Company, 10% off Father's Day weekend. Your dad wants a Wagyu steak. Trust us on this one. So come on up here. We're in Grosse Pointe Shores. There it is. For Sean Baligian and our entire crew, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping into Big D Energy. Well, see you later.